What's up, guys? Welcome to the Walk On Warrior podcast, where we prepare young student athletes for next level success. I am your host, Coach Z. I am super excited for our guest on today. He is just like most of you watching this, that was a walk-on from the beginning, and he made it to the top of the game as a professional athlete. And he's also currently a professional athlete in the indoor football league, plays out there for the Frisco Fighters. I just want to get that one right.
Fighter life, crazy.
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely. Martez Carter, welcome to the Walk On Warrior podcast. What's going on?
Appreciate you, Coach Z, for having me, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, I always like to start podcasts off with a little icebreaker. And so you grew up in Louisiana, right?
Yeah, I'm from the city. I'm from the boot.
So where's that again? Say that again.
Louisiana, the boot.
The boot? Oh, the boot. Oh, okay. I got
Yeah, because it looks like a boot. Yeah,
yeah. I always get a kick out of folks from Louisiana. My aunt is from Baton Rouge, and the first time that I truly met her, I got to meet her husband, my great uncle, and it was for Thanksgiving. And I'm going to tell you something right now, man. He said, "Hey, go and try my pie over there." And I'm like, I'm from the north. I'm from Oregon originally, man. So right. I'm used to cold food and all that stuff. And so when he's talking about going and trying my pie, he's a swamp guy. So all right. I'm thinking, this is gonna be, like pumpkin pie. It's gonna be something sweet. And I'm telling you what, man, I have never ate something so hot and spicy in my entire life.
Did you like it though?
So, it was good. You can only eat so much if you don't have that kind of palate. It's like
I got you. You got to be a spice kind of guy. We heavy on the spices.
Well, it wasn't a pie.
It wasn't a pie?
No, it wasn't a pie. It was like a casserole. He just called it a pie, and that's what screwed me up.
Yeah. Okay, I get you. Them casseroles still hit though. Good eats. Good eats.
No, there's nothing wrong with it being good or bad. It's just that every sense in my face and my eyes and everything completely opened up. And I told Uncle Butch, I said, "Listen, man, you got to give me forewarning moving forward here. I like meat and I like all that stuff, but listen, you can't kill me."
Gotta have a bev. Tell him next time, hey, have me a bev at least.
Okay.
Gotta have a cold beverage, man. Something to cope.
Yeah. No, and I've had a couple fish broils and crawfish broils, and you really have to have people make it that really know what they're doing, because if they put too much in there, oh my gosh, man,
you can't even enjoy the crawfish.
Yeah,
you can't enjoy the boil, bro. You put too much seasoning in there, you can't enjoy the boil. I don't like mine super duper spicy. I like mine at a pace to where like it's good, it's flavorful. I can eat it as much as I want. I don't want to not be able to enjoy the crawfish because it's too spicy. So I'm definitely not like high on the spice level.
Yeah. Well, and then also, if you're a newbie and you don't realize, it's on your hands, and you start wiping your face and you're pretty much pepper spraying yourself.
Terrible mistake. Terrible mistake, man.
Ends up being brutal. Yeah. So listen, for the new guests or for the guests that come on the show that maybe don't know you, kind of give a quick rundown just of your story, because I know that you started off more into basketball and then made your way into football and so on and so forth. So go ahead and talk about that.
Well, football has been a part of my family's culture for quite some time. I was, like I tell everybody, I was in the era where we all go outside and, we just roughhouse. One guy stand on the one end and then throw the football to the other end, and we just play hot ball. It was just something we did in the neighborhood, but it wasn't nothing that I just took serious. As to basketball, basketball was something that my family took serious, and we had a lot of kids. It was about 20, 30 of us as far as like grandkids. My grandma and my grandpa had 5 boys and 6 girls with a total of 11 kids, and they had, quite a few kids themselves. So I grew up with quite a few uncles and aunties and cousins or whatever. But That just started me out with playing sports. But whenever I got to junior high, high school, I was a basketball guy. I was 5'7". I can dunk. I can shoot the ball pretty well. I was pretty athletic. But whenever I got to high school, they were saying like, oh, basketball not gonna pay the bills, you're not gonna get a shot. Football is more your speed, you're a small guy, you're very athletic, you can score. Like you might want to take this into consideration. So I was just like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. So I go to high school. I played my sophomore year and my junior year. Well, in Louisiana, if you turn 18 before November, you can't play high school sports. And that's kind of what happened to me. I got held back. So whenever November rolled around, I was already 18. So I didn't get my senior year. So I had no stars, right? I didn't attend any camps. I didn't get looked at by no schools. I was just a kid in the 12th grade with no athletic eligibility. So I just took a leap of faith, man. I stayed around. I played basketball with the team and I helped them work out at practice. And if a coach would come, I would try to get a look from that coach. So my senior year, like I said, I was underrated. I had no stars. I had nothing. So I would just, anytime a coach come, I would free play with the guys. They'll give me a uniform. I'll get up and down. And if a coach like me, then, hooray. But I didn't have the same opportunity for football. So whenever that senior year adjourned and I graduated, I had got the looks from a school called Wally College in Marshall, Texas. And I walked on to Wally College, and I played basketball my freshman year. And then that didn't go well. And he ended up moving into the SWAC. My head coach ended up getting the head coach job at Mississippi Valley. And I thought he was going to take me because I was pretty good, but he didn't. So I ended up moving back home and walking on to Grambling. Second time walking on. Again, nobody knew me but the head coach. He was from Monroe, Louisiana, went to Carroll High School. Shout out to Coach Fobbs and Mr. Davis for getting me an opportunity over there at Grambling. And then that's just kind of why I took off, man. That's where Mr. Excitement was born. That's where the professional looks came from. And that's just where my leap of faith kind of like took off for me. You know what I'm saying? I took a leap of faith by walking on. I didn't think nobody wanted me. I was 5'7", 165 pounds. So, that's the route I had to take in order to, be where I am today and be who I am today.
So when you're going through high school, so when you're going through high school, what's the mentality? Because obviously you are being held back a little bit, but your goal is to go and obviously to not only just play, you just want to play, right? So on top of that, was it a goal of yours to go beyond high school? You just said, you know what, even though I'm not playing now, this is truly my ultimate goal.
Yeah, because come on, how many kids are looking for a corporate job in high school? When you're an exceptional athlete. I mean, you walked on, so obviously you had the talent that you needed in order to be what your football organization needed, right? So in high school, just imagine you not being able to play any sports. Are you thinking about some corporate job? Absolutely not. Like I wasn't thinking about working at Wendy's or working at McDonald's or what I'm gonna be able to do because I can't play sports. All I was thinking about was how am I going to get another shot? You know what I'm saying? So what I did was I just stayed around. Any chance that kids couldn't show up for practice, anytime that they was free playing, anytime that they was scrimmaging, I played for this school. I won a championship with this school. So therefore, I knew the plays, you know what I'm saying? So they didn't mind me sticking around. My whole thing was I'm trying to stay ready so I don't have to get ready. I didn't want to go home every day and just kick it at the crib. And then if a coach show up, then I'll get an opportunity. I was hooping every day. I was in the weight room every day. I'm 5'7", 165 pounds, and I'm dunking on 6'7" guys. You know what I'm saying? Like I was doing what I needed to do. So if I did get a shot, I was ready the same day. Like if they wanted to take me to a tryout, I was ready right then and there. My whole mentality was stay ready. So you ain't got to get ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where do you think that comes from, that mentality? Do you think that comes from maybe just how you were raised? Do you think that was just the people you were around growing up in the high school, your cousins, anything like that? Where do you think it comes from?
I mean, everybody that surrounded me when I was growing up, they were good at something. They was good at something. They was good at basketball, they was good at football, they was good at track, they was good at something. Every time I stepped foot into some type of activity, somebody around me was good at it. I'm the youngest. I'm amongst the youngest ones. So they ain't letting me win. You know how you got those older siblings who will let you win? None of my siblings was letting me win. Like if you won a game, it's because you won that game. So growing up, it was like I had to give out my max effort in order to be in the running to at least be talked about whenever it is we playing the game. So I don't. If I'm talking to you, I'm like, man, I don't want to play Coach Z, and man, he too good. You feel me? That ain't how it was. If Coach Z good at Madden, that's who I want to play every time we get on Madden. I want to play you in Madden. So every time we played basketball, I wanted to play against my cousins that were good. Every time we played against football, I wanted to play against my cousins that were good. I would be on a terrible team, and I want to play against the guys that were good. So that competitive spirit that I have, that tenacity just to be above and beyond, it just came from my all-around surroundings. I wanted to be good because everybody around me was good. And you just want to be able to compete. I had everything I needed inside of me. My family just brought that out of me. That was the birth of Mr. Excitement. They don't call me that for nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you think about it, it's like, a lot of kids, especially nowadays, they want, the quick gratification or whatever. They don't want to go through the grind. They don't want to go through all the different things they have to. And regardless of their situation, I think, so you're looking at it one way, and you have a lot of kids nowadays that if they were in that situation nowadays, like a nowadays kid, they would, I'm just not good. Look at me, coach hates me. They just give up. You got a lot of kids that they just kind of just give up. They don't understand that it's truly, you're not just working for something, you're looking to achieve something. And a lot of kids they're just giving up, and they're so what's something that just helps you pursue that or keep pushing through that? Because when you grow up in tough situations, kids, especially out here in San Diego, you have a lot of kids that they grow up with a cell phone, AC, nice things, and they expect. There's a lot of expectations that they think they should be getting, right, as opposed to what they have to go and get and achieve. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So So with a person, somebody that comes through the situation you did, and most of the kids that I run into that aren't the 3, 4, and 5-star guys, talk about that grind that makes you successful and makes them successful.
For me, I went to a school that didn't get a lot of recognition. Some of these guys are going to schools where it's not scouts' first choice to look for talent. You know what I'm saying? Back then, they'll go get you, from anywhere. They can find you anywhere. But these days, these kids are so entitled to it because they feel like if they post it or if they promote themselves well enough, somebody's supposed to see this. We didn't have that luxury. We had some huddle. We had some word of mouth. We had the opportunity to play against a team, make an impression, and then they pass that on to other teams and say, oh, they got a guy over there. Well, today they got NIL deals. They got all this stuff that they have access to. So their expectations are set a little bit lower because the effort ain't there. When you and I was growing up, we had one day out of the week to prove that we can put something on film, and we can put that on huddle or send a tape to a school. We were sending tapes to school. These kids, all they got to do is upload it these days. We didn't have that, and that right there brought the dog out of somebody who's trying. If I was in today's society playing sports right now as a high school kid going to college or whatever the case may be, I'll probably be just as spoiled as those guys. I get me a nice cameraman, I get on the field, I record content, I post it. Somebody from one of these pages are supposed to grab that and be like, oh, this kid is always working. As to back then, we was just taking a shot in the dark. You know what I'm saying? The grind was different. I ain't gonna lie, even the talent level was different. We was natural born athletes. These guys are, I don't know, they got a big old pacifier these days, and it sucks because like you asked me about the grind. The grind was way harder back then. We didn't have access to all the gyms. We didn't have guys like you, right? What you doing right now? We didn't have guys trying to pour back into us. Nobody said, "Hey, we working out today at 6 and 7 p.m. sessions. Y'all guys come get some work." We was doing this on our own. You know what I'm saying? We was self-made guys, and that grind right there put us in the mindset to not expect anything. You know what I'm saying? We hope for the best, but we expecting the worst at the same time because this ain't a guarantee. I'm putting this work in while nobody's looking, and I'm gonna make the best of my opportunity because it's not a guarantee. Today's world, they feel like it's a guarantee. If I go to this 6 p.m. session, they got the cameraman out there. Make sure you get some good flicks of me, bro, so I can put it on my gram and somebody can see it. That's the difference. We don't have that, and you know what I'm saying. That what separated our drive from their drive. Like it's a little bit tougher, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's important that you bring that up, and it's important the fact that kids need to understand that it's going to take work. If all the people that I've ever interviewed or I've ever coached with, they always talk about the work. How you got to put in the work. And you're mentioning right there and how, young student athletes, it's the instant gratification. It's get it right here, right now. It's I'm entitled to this. And that almost leads to 100% failure in some capacity because the kids, they already know they're going to fail in something. But the question is how is a kid going to deal with that kind of failure? It could be a small failure. It could be a big failure. Everybody's a little bit different. But as a walk-on, it's important for kids to understand that, yes, you're going to have to build a stronger foundation. But once that time comes to get your opportunity, right, through all those failures, you will be more prepared. I always 100% say that. I'm not saying that every kid that's not, if they're getting recruited, they're not going to fail, whatever it happens. But you go through something completely different than everybody else does, and it builds foundation not only on the field but off the field. So you're going into Grambling. So talk about your first days when you get to Grambling. So you didn't get So you're saying you didn't get much recruitment coming out of high school?
No, I didn't get any. I didn't have any schools. I had an opportunity to go to Miles College in Mississippi, and then that was really it. I went to a prep school. I dropped out of school in my 11th grade year. I went to a prep school in Atlanta. I played with Deion Sanders Jr. They called him Bucky, but I played with him at ASA. It's Atlanta Sports Academy. That didn't work out, so I had to call my principal and ask her to come back to high school. When I got back, I went through a period where I was just working out. So I graduated high school and I go to Wiley College. That didn't work. So now I'm finna get ready to walk on to Grambling. But I had to resign from my old school. So I resign and I go home. I go home for probably like 4 weeks, that little time we had in between the semester. At this time, I got one basket of clothes, a 55-inch TV, you feel me? And then like a couple of totes. Well, I had like 2 totes, like with shoes in it. So I had like 2 baskets of clothes. That's it. And one 55-inch TV. It's the summer because I came in the summer. It's the summer. Nobody's here. But the football team, maybe some volleyball girls, the basketball team, and like the new freshman that comes for orientation every now and then whenever they host orientation. It was so dry. And this was not the Grambling that I had pictured in my mind. It's the summer. It's summer. Everybody's gone. But when I get to Graham, the football team had this situation where you like either shave your eyebrows or all your hair. Well, I wasn't shaving these. So I had walking around campus with a bald head. Man, it was just crazy. It was really, really crazy. I think the most craziest part of the transition was I went to play running back. That's what I wanted to play. I wanted to play running back. But they put me at cornerback for a year. I was the worst cornerback that Grambling's probably ever seen. I was terrible at it. I promise you, I was terrible. But that was the only way I could get on the team. And I had walked away from my basketball dream, and football was supposed to pave the way. So I played DB for a year, and we had a guy on our team named Chester Rogers. He ended up going to the Colts and playing for Cleveland Browns and the Titans as well. But he went down in the game, and we didn't have a kickoff returner. Oh, I was itching on the sideline. Coach ended up giving me an opportunity, man, against U of H and Lamar. I think I had, between those 2 games, I had probably like 8 returns for a total of like 200-300 yards. And then the next spring came around, and then they tried me at running back, and the rest is history. But that whole process of me playing cornerback for a year and being a walk-on, I wasn't nobody's favorite. Nobody was asking me to be there. I mean, it was cool to have me there. I was another camp body, but I had to take that opportunity serious because I didn't know if it was my last. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I had to dig somewhere deep for this opportunity because I ain't never played cornerback in my life, and now that I walked on, and if I don't do good at cornerback, then I won't be in the program. So I can't show you I can play running back. So I just had to dig deep, deeper for a different meaning because I knew once I got a chance on offense, I'd be okay. But that year at DB was not the best for me,
Yeah. Well, in today's world, we have different type of walk-ons. We've got our preferred walk-ons for you young student athletes and coaches, if you don't know, right? So that's somebody that's been recruiting, somebody that may just not make the cut, but they still want to be on the team. They can prove themselves, basically hold pads the first year. And then you have a walk-on like me who just said, you know what, I wasn't getting much recruitment. I'm going to come on here and I'm going to do like a mass tryout, which I did. And of course I made the team and the rest is history. But for walk-ons, like in your situation, it's all about being ready when the time is right, or when the time, you don't know when the time is going to be there, right? You don't know when you're going to be asked, your number is going to be called. My first, I say this on every podcast, but my first shot, all six, I was a running back as well. The first six guys, the guys in front of me, they all got hurt. First practice, we had a whole new staff. And the staff came in, they wanted to be, they wanted to put their foot down, want to say, listen, we're going to make this team tougher. We're going to do all these different. So all the running backs get hurt. They say, well, who do we have? And of course, this is the last drill of practice, and it's just everything's live. Anyway, these guys pushed me forward. This new guy, long hair from the West Coast, and throw me in there. And sure enough, Red Sea parts. Of course, they give me the ball, which is like, but anyway, boom, boom, 15 yards. Then I made my mark. Now they know my name. Now my opportunity truly is there. And so, for a walk-on, it's somebody that really has to come out of the trench because you're already starting in there. And so, so talk about opportunity, because, I mean, you knew mentally that you had to be prepared, but you didn't know when the opportunity was going to be there.
Not at all.
Say you're a young student, you're a high school kid, you say, you know what, I'm not getting the offers. I'm not blessed to receive and, post on Twitter like everybody does. I've decided, I'm going to be a walk-on, I'm going to go this route. So talk about the importance of being ready when the time is right.
I think that's one of the most valuable lessons they can learn right now. And if they walk on or have, intentions on walking on, I feel like that's something that they should carry with them throughout their whole career. It's not about how you start, you know what I'm saying? It's about how you finish. Some guys don't go in it with the same mindset as everybody else. With me, I feel like I had the opportunity to make my mark from the start. You know what I'm saying? Although I didn't have any offers, you know what I'm saying? I had no offers at all. And I think earlier I told you I was always playing basketball. I was always doing something. I wasn't just going to kick it on the couch. When that opportunity came, though, like I was at cornerback. Most of you guys are going to be in an uncompromised position or uncomfortable position. But what are you willing to sacrifice in order to get to that ultimate goal? I ain't want to play no cornerback. That ain't what I wanted to do. Was it the best for the team? Heck yes. So I had to do that. In order for me to be available, in order for me to be ready, in order for me to accept that challenge and make the best of it, I had to be ready. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm playing cornerback, if I catch an interception, I'm turning into a ball carrier. I mentally prepared myself to be able to make plays whenever the ball got into my hand. I set myself up for that. The same for anybody who's about to walk on. You have to know what's next. You know what I'm saying? You want to walk on, you got to know. When I walked on, it was 9 guys in front of me. 9. It was 9 running backs in front of me whenever I got the opportunity to make that transition. You think I had the time to wait out 9 guys? You got blessed on the first day of practice. You know, I went through camp with 9 guys in front of me that was upperclassmen. So
yeah.
you talking about, you know, staying ready or being ready. The worst thing that happened to me in my professional career was I was not available. You know, that's why I said take that with you throughout your professional career, because as a walk-on, you know what I'm saying, and you get that opportunity. If you don't make the best of it, then they just put you to the back of it and you get a uniform every week and you might get to travel to big games. But other than that, you ain't on the travel squad. That ain't the opportunity. That's not what you walked on for. Had you had a bad day when them 6 running backs go down, Coach Z ain't have the story that Coach Z has today. Coach Z was ready. I know dang well Coach Z was not just kicking it with this walk-on opportunity. Same thing. Every time we went through a drill, if I wasn't first, I was top 3. Sprints, lifting weights, conditioning, whatever it was, I'm top 3. Because I already came in here with the mindset that I don't belong here. All y'all got invited here. I invited myself. So I'm gonna treat myself like I'm the only one who want me here. And if that's the case, then I'm the only one defending myself. So I can't ask the next guy to take it easy on me in the drill. I got to turn that up. Whatever I got to do to stay here, I walked on. And that means I'm paying for everything too. I got way more to lose than the next man. So therefore, my drive, my work ethic, anything that has to do with me staying on this football team is going to be 110% better than anybody else. That's a part of staying ready so you don't have to get ready. Same thing in the NFL, same thing in any league. If a coach comes to you and they in trouble and you on that roster, you on that team, be available, be ready, and take advantage of that opportunity, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and as simple as that may sound, a lot of kids, they aren't prepared for that moment, right? And I think once you get that opportunity, that one moment, that one shot, it's the Eminem song, you have to make the best of it. And that could be your only shot. And you know as well as I do, I mean,
to blow.
yeah, well, you know, exit meetings are real. You know, when these coaches, you meet with them at the end of whether the football season or you meet with them at the end of spring, you know, that could be one of those sit downs, they call it in the mob. You may not come out of there.
Yeah. Not with the news you was hoping for anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. And so talk about that. Talk about the moment. Talk about how important it is to reinvent yourself now that you have been given this opportunity. It's not it's their shoulder pads. Now you're on the field and being in the moment, but reinventing yourself now that you are in the situation that you are in.
Man, with me, it was just about getting my feet wet. You know what I'm saying? I played in all these leagues up until now, you know, and I'm a firm believer of you don't know what you don't know. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what you don't know. So with me, I just took advantage of every opportunity that I had. You know what I'm saying? Coming into it. I don't think guys really understand that whenever an opportunity, you know what I'm saying, shows itself, it's a certain way to approach that. It's a certain way to approach that. It's some things that you have to dig deep for. You know what I'm saying? I don't think guys truly understand that you the only one that wants you to win in the beginning. But soon as Mr. Carter, soon as Coach Z started balling, everybody wants you there. You know what I'm saying? I don't think guys truly understand that the work that you put in when nobody is looking is exactly the work that you'll be putting in consistently throughout your career. When I show up for the weight room, the same thing I do if nobody was in the weight room, I'm doing it. If we run in sprints the same way I run sprints when nobody's looking, I'm running those same sprints the same way whenever we have group conditioning. Everything that you do on a normal basis is the same thing that I'll be doing whenever I get my time to shine. If you do that right there, like right now, today, I'm going to practice. Everything I do today, I'm going to do in the game this Saturday whenever I play in San Antonio. You got to put yourself to have in a position to have a consistent regimen. That consistent regimen gives you the opportunity for it not to be a big show. Whenever you get on this podcast, this is natural for you right now. You've done enough podcasts to know that whenever I get on here, I did my homework. I know what I want to talk to Tiz about. I know how this podcast is going to go. I laid it all out. You did that homework. So it's the same thing with preparation for football. You know what I'm saying? Today, I'm going to get what I need from defense. Tomorrow is going to be offense. Thursday is red zone. Friday, special teams. Saturday, everything I did all week, I'm going to just do it Saturday. That's the mentality they got to have whenever they get the opportunity that we are talking about today. This walk-on warrior, bro, I don't think they understand how big this movement is because you didn't get a shot that everybody else got, and I didn't get a shot that everybody else got. But did you quit? No, you didn't. Did I quit? No, or we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. You see what I'm saying? I don't think guys understand that we wrote a story to give them, and then now they got to write a story to give somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just with me, bro. I don't think guys understand how big your movement is, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think it's enough awareness on it. I don't think guys understand what it is that you're trying to do with this whole platform. This is super duper awesome. Just for you to get out here and share your story, and then for you to go do your homework to find other guys who experience the same thing to spread awareness around it. Man, this is big time right here, bro.
Yeah.
It's big time.
Yeah, and it's so on top of that, talk about non-negotiables.
Okay.
Right? Because you're talking right now about guys, you're talking about responsibility, you're talking about making the best of a moment. But to get to that moment, there's non-negotiables. There's certain things you have to do just to get there. And it's not necessarily physical, which it's physical, but there's certain things mental, on and off the field, right? You could be getting around bad people. You could be all these different things. And everybody's different with their non-negotiables. But now that you're on campus, or say you're even coming out of high school trying to make it, what are non-negotiables, no matter what, to lay a foundation for a young student athlete that's coming out of that trench?
Going to class is a non-negotiable. You got to go to class. Let's just say if you left high school and then you walked on and now you're on the team, you got to go to class. If your grade level, like if your GPA is low, you got to go to study hall. At my school, it was study hall and it was class. If you missed any of those things, punishment runs was super duper crazy. I'm talking about crazy. Some called 12 touches. So I'm talking about it's 45 yards of cones. You sprint down, sprint back, roll down, roll back, bear crawl down, bear crawl back every 5 yards. So you got those 3 exercises for up to 45, 50 yards. So that class, we was going to class. That was it. That was it. That was all. But like you said, it don't have to be workouts. It don't have to be football related. It don't have to be physical. It also can be mental too. We had a situation where one day out of a week, guys would get together and talk about stuff like this. It would be walk-on guys. It would be scholarship guys. It would be guys that didn't even play football, but That right there was a non-negotiable because we was all going through stuff. Football is super duper mental, man. So it's mental. Like today, you got guys checking out because you know what I'm saying of what football done to them. So we put ourselves in a position to link up and keep our mentals right. On my journey, I didn't really have no super no-nos or no super. I didn't have a lot of non-negotiable because I was on the fly. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's different from everybody. I was really on the fly and I didn't have no structure. So with me not having no structure, it was super duper hard for me to get into a system and then listen to a coach because I made all the decisions on my own. That's how I got here. I didn't have coaches sending out my tape. I didn't have nobody taking me to visits. I didn't have no coach coming to look for me. All my stuff was unorthodox. So all my no-nos was really a quick, brief discussion between myself and myself. Either I'm gonna make this decision and it's gonna work or it's not. So I didn't have a lot of non-negotiables, but I can say that you ain't gonna get through this process without the correct structure because at any moment you can give up on this dream, you cannot feel like doing it, and then that's all it takes is that one time you don't feel like going to practice, you don't feel like going to class, or you don't feel like fulfilling something in your daily duty in order for you to be considered or still be on the program as a walk-on. You just the bar is set a little different because you're a walk-on. You know, they expecting more from you. You don't have that much room to mess up.
Yeah. Well, talk about how important discipline is, because you're kind of alluding a little bit more to the discipline aspect, whether it's on or off the field.
Yeah.
Let's see you getting together with some friends and you guys networking, you guys connecting, talking about how to get better. What'd you do that, you know, whatever on the field, in the classroom. But a lot of kids don't understand that those are the little things that you can do to get better. But it all comes down to discipline. You have to have the mentality, you have to have the discipline and the drive. So talk a little bit about that.
When I got to Grambling, they had started a boycott because of the conditions of the locker room. It had mold in some places. It just wasn't a good environment to be around in a program. But guys started not to show up for games, for practice, for anything. You know what I'm saying? And you had a couple guys that was on the team that stuck with it. They stuck with it and they didn't transfer. They waited till the next group of guys came in and they set us down and they told us like, hey, look, this was going on with the program. Last year we went 1-12. The year before that we was 0-13 or whatever the case may be. So this is what's going on in the program. We gonna sacrifice our summers. I'm thinking, sacrifice my summer? Never. But we had a group of guys that was so locked in to the point to where they convinced everybody who wanted to win a championship that next year to attend both summer sessions. So we went from a 0-13 team and a 1-12 team. The next year we went like 7-6 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And then the year after that, we didn't lose any games. We lost a lot. We lost to Cal Berkeley. We beat Northwestern, and then we rolled everybody else. Then it was an upset alert with Arizona. But what that one guy did by saying, hey, I'm gonna stay at summer school and we're gonna work out. Not only did we stay at summer school and work out, we all held each other accountable. It was days where I didn't want to work out, but everybody else did. But they came and picked me up. It was days where I had a little fun one night. They come to my room with my workout clothes and they got me up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have that structure at first because, like I said, I was making the decisions for myself. Once I seen these guys willing to sacrifice everything in order to come pick me up, a late workout, running the extra couple of runs, but making sure I got there, you know what I'm saying? That's what separated us as a whole. We won 3 championships after that, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We won 3 championships after that. So that just came with guys buying in. That came with discipline. That came with guys gelling. That came with we all from different places. We had guys from San Diego. We had guys from Baton Rouge. We had guys coming from Miami. We had guys from Mississippi. We don't know each other from a can of paint. But nobody is looking at the next guy like, you're not my leader. We all had that that one conversation and we was all on the same page. So everybody was disciplined enough to buy into a summer session and then take all of that, what we did and learned from that summer session, and we took that into the school year. And coach really, our coaches didn't have to coach us. We was the number one offense, number one defense, number one special teams in the SWAC. That came with that discipline from us being able to coach ourselves all summer. Now with a little structure and a discipline we had, nobody could smell our jock straps.
Yeah. No, and that's huge. And it's all about development, especially when you're a young 18, 19, 20 to 21-year-old.
Yes, indeed.
You have to have good mentors. You have to have people above you that can grab you and pull you in certain directions. And unfortunately, I think that there's a very high percentage of guys that end up getting into the wrong crowds, and not only off the field, but on the field, right? Or not on the field, but on campus, right? You could have bad teammates, right? But holding each other accountable to go and pursue whatever the ultimate goal is. Now, I'm not saying that people need to be selfish or they need to have ego, whatever, but you have to have your own individual goals, and those individual goals, right, have to also gel with the rest of the team, because it's a team sport. It's not wrestling, you know, right? So two more questions. Talk about ego and how important it is to get rid of that, because now at this point, as a walk-on, now you probably get money, or now you're on the team, however you want to look at it. Now you're settled into what you're doing. Getting rid of ego and now pushing past that to go from good to great and be that leader that you were talking about, those guys that grabbed you.
Yeah.
Right? How important that is.
It's really important, man. When I first got there, it was a coach. He was our tight ends coach. His name was Coach Tatum. They call him Bailey or Coach Tatum. And he always had this saying that everybody would use on the team. So if you was on my team and you play running back with me and you was giving me some help and I was just like yelling hoorah rah time, all you would say is coach me, coach. Coach me, coach mean you tripping. Just listen to me, and I promise you it's for the better. Coach me, coach always meant something positive. So if we was on the team and you the starting running back and I'm the backup running back, but we got the same stats, I feel like you can't tell me nothing. I got the same stats as you. You just been here longer. That's the only reason you start. So anything you tell me I'm being rebellious to, all you say is, coach me, coach. You feel me? That's how my team ended up like being able to kind of like not belittle somebody, but give them some tough constructive criticism. You know what I'm saying? Guys don't know how to take constructive criticism, which means that they ego is bigger than the team. We ain't never used that ain't no I in team because somebody will say it's an E in me. You know, we never use that. We'll just straight up tell somebody what it is and what it ain't. And if a guy can't buy in, we'll just be like, coach me, coach. Because I'm at work right now. I teach 6th grade English. So I got middle school kids. So these middle school kids, they trying to make a move and they'll pull up Kobe or Steph. You know what I'm saying? They feel like they are bigger than the game. So whenever I try to show them that, you know what I'm saying, if you did this, drive and kick, woo-dee-woo-woo, then we'll be a better team. They don't understand that I don't want you on my team if you aren't coachable. If your mind, or if the way you play and what you bring to the table is bigger than this team, I don't want to deal with you. You 11 years old, and I don't want to deal with you. Just imagine what happens to you when you become 16 in high school, 17 in college, and you have this same mindset, but you're an adult. Your reactions, your character traits, all that is ugly. Don't nobody want you on their team. When an NFL scout or a professional scout comes back to look at a kid, they don't just ask that college that they're attending what it is that the kid or what kind of kid it is. They went back to my high school. They went back and talked to people in the community. So if your ego was destroyed or your ego was too big or your ego overshadowed you as a person, nobody is gonna want you in their program because they're gonna go back and talk to these people, and these people gonna tell them, "Oh, he think he all that in a bag of chips. I just couldn't do it." Your AAU team coach, man, he was a good athlete, but everything was all about him. Ain't nobody gonna sign you. You can go from a first round draft pick to an undrafted free agent just because your ego too big. They're gonna get you for cheap, and they're gonna pay you cheap because you acting cheap.
Yeah.
So that ego would destroy a good thing, man.
Yeah. And I think it's really important to talk about exposure and getting exposed. I'm a big boxing fan. I love the best fights you always see are the ones where a guy gets tagged and then he comes back from it, because
Right,
you're going to learn more about yourself and how you respond. It's all about response, right? My guy
right.
back here, Urban Meyer, they talk about an equation. It's E plus O equals R, right? It's your event plus your it's E plus R equals O, right? I said that wrong. But you're in a situation where there's an event, right? And then it's all about your response, and that will give you the outcome of the situation you're in.
Right.
And I think kids just, they shell up and they cower up once something bad happens and it's over. But you want to be in those situations. You want to eat, how do they say it in the South? Eat crow, right? You want to eat it, man. You have to. You're never going to find out about what you truly want to do in this world, and then also on the field, what you want, who you want to be, unless you actually go and get exposed a little bit. And then obviously you're going to have people around you that are going to be there, and they're going to want to help you and get you through that.
Right.
Just before we get out of here, I know you got a few minutes, but listen, if you could do it again, what would you do? What would you do differently?
Man, honestly, it's not much I would do different, but it's one of those situations about if I knew now what I knew then. You know what I'm saying? If I know what I know now back then, I would just move a little different. I made some decisions to where I got suspended for some games. You know what I'm saying? And I could have just walked away from a situation. I made a decision where I put my team in jeopardy. I made some decisions that weren't the best for my athletic career. If I could go back, I would just minimize my mistakes. So if somebody watching this podcast right now, so you don't make the same mistakes as me. I missed a lot of football games by being a knucklehead off the field. If you can, man, and you can diffuse a situation, or if you're in an altercation where you feel like you might lose something important and you can walk away from it, I would do so. That's all I got to say for real. Because I made some knucklehead decisions and lost a lot of time on that field. So if I know now what I knew then, man, I wouldn't have made those decisions.
Yeah. So I gotta put you on the hot seat real quick before we get you out of here. Some funny things here.
Okay.
So you playing for Grambling? Actually, yeah. So let's start off with that question. So you started off and you played your college career. You played in Grambling. What was the toughest place to play? What was the toughest stadium to play in?
The toughest, like period, or just in the SWAC?
Let's do both.
Okay. The toughest game I ever played in was at Cal Berkeley. Cal Berkeley was it was a hostile environment. Like the locker room went down, then you had to go back up to the field, and it was just loud. And I ain't never played in front of that many people live, other than the Bayou Classic, but I haven't really experienced it yet. So Cal Berkeley was one, and Alcorn. Playing at Alcorn, man, they got a team chant. Their song is just intimidating, and if they got a crowd full of people, it's just something that kind of like breaks your spirit to compete. So those are two places that was very, very tough to play in, those environments.
Yeah. What's your favorite Southern food?
My favorite Southern food is crawfish etouffee.
Okay. Well, you're out in Texas now. So what's the biggest difference between Texas and Louisiana?
So they got food trucks and stuff, to bring out that culture. But like regular seafood on spots out here, they missing something. You know what I'm saying? It's like me, I eat chicken every day, but if I don't have ranch, I'm not eating it. So like when I eat their food, it's like something is missing. I'll eat it, but something missing. It's missing, and I need it. You feel me? So that's the difference. It be some salsa, some seasoning, or something be missing from Texas seafood and Louisiana seafood. So it's
Yeah.
something,
You,
man.
you put ranch on chicken.
Hey, I put ranch on. I eat ranch in my spaghetti. I eat
I
ranch
love
on my
ranch.
pizza. I eat ranch with chicken. I eat ranch and pasta. I eat ranch with anything except for like milk or something like that. Anything I can dip or drizzle over this, my tacos, burritos, anything, Chipotle bowls, anything I can put ranch on, I'm gonna put it on regardless. I promise you that.
Oh my God.
I even eat ranch ice cream, cuz they got ranch flavor ice cream. It's only in Massachusetts that I ever experienced it, but they got ranch flavor ice cream, and they even got like ranch drizzle. Like, yeah, I love ranch. I'm sorry. I
Oh
just
man. That is so funny, man.
yeah,
I
for
love
real.
ranch. I love mayo. I love all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
But if there was one thing, so last question before I get you out of here. If there's one thing that you could say to a young student athlete that's looking to pursue this and go and be a walk-on, what would you tell them?
Man, just believe in yourself, you know what I'm saying, and trust your own instincts. Whenever I believed in myself and then I trusted myself to make that leap of faith to go walk on, it was the best decision I ever made, though. You know what I'm saying? Me walking on was the best decision I ever made. If that's your option, if that's the only opportunity that you have, pull the trigger, man. Believe in yourself and just walk through that door.
Yeah. Well, listen, I want to say thank you, Martez. I really appreciate you coming on the show. I know you got to run. So, listen, the value that you bring and the experience that you've had, young student athletes, parents also, and even coaches that are coming through this thing, it's super valuable. And we're creating a movement here. And I'm super excited for it moving forward. And is there anything you wanted to plug?
I don't think so.
Nothing? No IG, no Facebook?
Oh, my IG. Oh, yeah. So my Instagram is I'm just _Tez, the letter IMJUST_Tez. My Twitter handle is that man Carter IV, THATMAN Carter IV. That man Carter IV. I think that's it. Yeah, IG and Twitter. My TikTok is the same thing as my IG handle and everything else.
Okay. Hey, listen, if you're in the DFW area, I used to live in Fort Worth. If you guys are out there in Dallas, go check out them Frisco, them boys out there. Listen,
Yeah,
hey,
don't forget, I'm coming out there. If you're gonna come to the game, I'll be there Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you want a link or whatever the case may be, just let me know, man. We got contact, so that'd be cool too, bro. To link with you.
Yeah, man. I'll show you a little bit of San Diego.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, listen, like I said, I always finish this podcast off this way. So for you young student athletes, coaches, parents, all that kind of stuff, listen, it's not about me or Martez. It's always about you guys. See you guys in the next episode.